A shy moon hiding behind branches in the sun, painting the trees. Okay, time to get a show on the road. The colors are beautiful now. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Djuma Game Reserve, and welcome to our live broadcast from Djuma. My name is Mark, and I'm joined with Becky on camera this morning, and Seb and Pete Brata in final control, and they're going to be sorting out any technical issues that we might have. We're hoping we don't have any, and we're going to be heading out for the next 3 hours, taking you around Djuma Game Reserve to see what we can find for you. A little bit chilly, but beautiful clear skies. This rain that we've just had has cooled things down a lot. There has been some snow in some of the mountains in the country, and this little bit of an icy wind coming in from the south is just letting us know that there is snow on the mountains. Beautiful morning, and well, we had a bit of a shy moon hiding behind branches. I wanted to open up on that, our waning moon. Sun has just popped up above some clouds, and we'll find a spot and just have a look at the sun quickly. I don't know, can you see it from where you are? Kind of behind a bush. Yeah, baby jackalberry there. Let's go a little bit and we'll see if we can find an opening just to have a look at the sunrise. Oh, there, it is quite nice coming through the tree. Of course, you got a different angle to me. Huh, interesting. So welcome back, everyone. Those of you who are joining us for the first time, welcome to our live drives. Hope you're going to enjoy them. Hope you're going to, more than enjoy the drives, fall in love with a lot of the characters that we find on these drives. Very special animals. Now, yesterday, of course, the timing was wrong. They were supposed to be here today. They arrived yesterday. A group of male lions known as the Matimba males were quite near camp. So it'd be nice to see if we can find where they went to during the night. Excuse me, let me do my morning.
I'm going to check south eastern road yesterday we put on condo opposition boundary before the rain.
Good morning, guys. Where did those Matimbas go last night?
Yeah, that's why we just was getting low.
Okay, thanks, Ephraim. Alright, well, let's go north. You see, the other thing I want to do today is not necessarily go chasing after animals, is the way we have done sometimes. If we find tracks, by all means, we will do something like that. But been away for a while, and been a few changes. This rain has been fantastic. It's been a full moon, typical wintry full moon rain, or just post full moon. But it was enough rain that it has wiped the slate clean as far as tracks are concerned. And the ground is still very damp. The sand is rigid, you know. It's like wet beach sand. It's what you build sand castles out of, so like the sand on our road here. So animal tracks are going to stay there then, as opposed to when it is dry and the sand starts falling into the tracks. So we're going to see some very clear tracks today. And the idea is actually just to drive around, see what's different, see what might be changing because spring is approaching, and just take a drive around Djuma mostly and see what we can find along the way. Once we get back into the swing of things and get a feel for what has been happening over the last 2 weeks or so, actually it is just over 2 weeks, then we can start concentrating on finding some of the characters. The other guys are out, they are looking. Ephraim has decided he's going to go up, down, sideways. He's going to the west. He's going to go and look for some signs of Karula. Henry's going towards the south, down Twin Dams way. We'll go up to the north, and in that way the three of us cover a fairly good patch of ground in terms of what might be moving around. We had some really warm weather just recently. It was almost spring kind of weather. I was in t-shirts in the evenings even, and this was when I was at home. But there is, even though it's fairly close by between here and the Sabi Sand and just north of here in the Timbavati, even though I'm right up in the northern part of the Timbavati at home, there is a considerable climate difference between the two places. So we'll take Aubrey's Road, I think, head up north, go and look along our northern boundary, maybe go and have a look at Buffelshoek Dam to begin with. Reminds me, Pete, if you can whisper in my ear, what is the question's email address? Didn't think of that until now. Pete, where are we sending questions to at the moment? Oh, of course. Simple and straightforward. Thank you. Questions at Djuma.com. There we go. Everything's at Djuma.com now. Mark at Djuma.com. Tara at Djuma.com. Seb at Djuma.com. So, it's that time of the year when Morning, Dawn. Sorry, just putting some questions in already. Hi, Dawn. Welcome to our drive this morning. Wanting to know if our boundaries have changed now that we're part of Djuma. Unfortunately not, Dawn. The boundaries don't really have anything to do. Well, I mean, they do, obviously. They did have a big role to play in things. And I'm sure it's possible that our broadcast range would, or rather could, extend into Buffelshoek a little bit. But for the time being, though, no, our boundaries haven't changed. For the time being, we are still covering the same area that we've always covered. And that's largely due to our broadcast range, the range that we have with the vehicle, between our vehicle and the mast back at Wetella Lodge. So that more or less dictates our range from camp, more than the political land ownership boundaries. That I don't know. I guess in time we can look into that. But for the time being, we're limited to a couple of things. One of the biggest things is, of course, the size of the amplifier that broadcasts from the vehicle to the lodge. And I would say that's one of the big things, to be able to send the signal to you out there. For now, we're still covering the same areas. And Robin, I think it was Robin that wanted to know the temperature right now. Probably about 10 degrees Celsius, I'd say. 10 or 12. With that cold wind that's coming up from the south. I suppose if the air was still, it would probably be about 14, 15 maybe. Wind chill factor is dropping the temperature a little. I'd say call it maybe 50 degrees Fahrenheit with a quick calculation. And no, that wasn't in my head. I was using my fingers. My fingers pushing buttons on a special little converter thing. One day the whole world will go metric and work in one unit of measurement for different things, like Celsius. Hey, Celsius makes sense. Freezing is 0, boiling is 100. Fahrenheit doesn't make very much sense to me. Freezing is what? 39 degrees or something. An obscure number. So much easier when everything's sort of decimals, like inches. I can never get the hang of the sizes of spanners, because I drive a Land Rover that has a number of imperial sized, well, most of it is imperial, and I've got a metric tool set. But a lot of the metric, like the size 10 and the 13 is a half, so that's easy. But where the 11 sixteenths and the 7 eighths and the 5 sixths and all these fractions, I just can never get it into my head which size it is in metric. But in metric it's simple numbers. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 millimeters. So kids that grow up on an imperial system, I don't know, their brains must work so much harder trying to figure things out. Now we're driving along the fire break now. This is our northern boundary, there's a gap between, just south of our northern boundary, there's this little strip of land. It's about 30 yards, 30 meters wide. It was burnt a little while ago to act as a fire break, because at the moment, this time of the year, it is fire season. In fact, the kind of thunderstorm that we had is the kind of thunderstorm that can start fires, because we've had fairly hot, dry weather. Suddenly a thunderstorm comes through like it did yesterday or day before and the night before, and that is something that can ignite fires. And a fire break like this prevents those fires from spreading too far. And the good thing about this rain is in the next few days we're going to see a green carpet coming up. There's a not so good consequence to rain at this time of the year, though. It can be quite sad and bad, and I'll get to that shortly, because we're heading down towards Sydney's Dam to sort of our northwestern, it's our northwesternmost point, and we might lose signal. But I just want to show you now what the one thing that this rain has done. Oh, elephant came across, but he's gone to the north. One thing I want to show you though is that rain has cleared the sky. Being fire season, just stop here quickly. Being fire season, the air has been very smoky and been very hazy. In fact, for a number of, in fact my entire time at home, I never got to see the mountains because the air was so smoky and hazy. And of course what this rain has done is it's cleared the air fantastically, and we can see those mountains. You can even see the sheer cliff faces, and if we could zoom in enough, you might even see the colors of the lichen on those rocks. A beautiful song of all the long-tailed or magpie shrikes around us. Drakensberg Mountains in the west. as beneficial as rain might be, in fact, at this time of the year, it's possibly more detrimental than beneficial, because the temperatures are high enough and the daytime length of daylight perhaps is long enough. I suppose that doesn't really have much to do with it. It's all got to do with temperature and moisture to get seed growing. And of course, one thing about this time of the year with this wind, the wind is important because it's dispersing seed. As a lot of these seed pods break on the trees as they get blown by the wind, they disperse seed. The wind actually dehisces the seed pod. It opens the seed pod. It's dispersing seed. There's just so much that happens with this wind. And then of course what happens now with the rain that we've just had, the ground is moist. The sun's going to warm up the ground today. We've got this beautiful blue sky. And it's going to start germinating a lot of seed. And being only August, some buffalo crops. Being August, there's not going to be that much more rain, I don't think. Well, not likely between now and say October, November. So a lot of seed that might start growing now, and in particular tree seed. Grass seed, I think you find that maybe grass seed will lose a lot of it, but there'll still be a lot when the time comes. But if trees start growing now, if tree seed starts germinating now, those saplings are not going to survive. But we shall see. We'll see what the rain has done as the days wear on. In the next few days, we'll have a look at what growth might be a result of this. I mean, even some of the trees that have lost their leaves, excuse me a second. Yes, go. I'm in the middle of something here. Alright. I don't know if they can hear me in final control. I lost my train of thought. But I think the question there from Debbie, are the drive times staying the same? Yep. Drive times, as far as the drives are concerned, I think pretty much most of it is going to be still the same. In terms of area and times, I mean, we're going to be monitoring, one thing about the drive times, we'll be monitoring the times that we have the most traffic, and those are obviously the times when we're going to be, it's going to be important for us to be out at those times. Over the next couple of weeks we'll monitor that at all. Every now and then we might mix it up a little bit, we might do something different. There are only 3 of us, which means that all 3 of us are working both drives every day, and we'll be doing this for a 6-week period, and that will take a lot out of us after 4 or 5 weeks. By the 4th, 5th week, we're going to need to maybe take a day when we don't go out in the morning, but maybe we'll do a midday drive. We're going to see how things go. For the time being, for the first, I'd say these first 2 weeks or so, we're going to be sticking to pretty much a routine of our normal times. As we move into spring and summer, of course drive times will be changing because daylight will be earlier, sun will be rising earlier and setting later, and we'll try and change according to that. But I think it'll still be a little bit of a way, it'll be a little bit of time before that happens. For now though, yes, 6:30 in the morning. I didn't get the name. Lindsay, I think.
Lindsay wanting to remind you the names of the cubs. Well, I'm not sure. I haven't been, since we haven't been here, I'm not too sure if they've adopted those names that we decided on. We have to have a meeting with the guys. But the little boy we were calling Shava, C-H-A-V-A, Shava, and his little sister we named Shivinzi, X-I-V-I-N-D-Z-I, Shivinzi. The X in Shangaan is like an SH sound. It's more like a cross between SH and CH. Now it is cold, and the temperature changes have always got an effect on animal movement, so we'll see. Now, even track-wise, there's not much movement of animals on the roads. It's rather chilly. It is rather chilly. Fresh elephant dung. Of course, everything's going to stay fairly fresh because it's damp. Only today it'll start drying up. But up until now, even though we didn't have rain yesterday, the ground is damp. The dung will stay damp in that kind of weather. Elephants playing in the road. Robert, Texas. How are you, Robert? Welcome to our drive. Just to know how it feels to be back in the bush. Could we have used a longer break? Are we ready for it? I'm ready. I haven't left the bush, Robert. For me, I'm always in the bush. So for me, it's, in fact, all three of us that are here at the moment, myself, Becky, and Seb, have been in the bush. We haven't been out of the bush at all in the last 2 weeks. Well, I've been to the city twice. Not the city, it's not even a city. It's a little town. It doesn't even have a traffic light. Although they need one. They need three. They need at least 3 traffic lights. A tiny little town that's got too many people. On times like long weekends and school holidays. But yeah, great to be back at Djuma. And I mean, as far as drives are concerned, been itching to get back here to find the Matimba lions, to catch up with Karula. The lion in question, Roller, just landed on the ground there, chasing something else, eating something. Let's get forward for the camera. Off he goes. Okay. Stop and listen and see if we can get a beautiful morning light in this bird. gone. No, it's there. Uh-oh. Just got a branch in the way. Maybe I can... Whoops. There. A little bit puffed up in the cold air. Okay. You know, there was actually green coming through the lot just after this fire break was burned. Because July full moon also had a bit of rain. And there was already a green carpet. Oh, something in the road up ahead. Lions! There we go. How's that for a start? Look at these boys. Maybe Matimbas. 2 big male lions. Dum 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 dum. I can see. I'm gonna stop here. I'm just gonna get a long shot because I can actually see. I can see the. Those boys. Twitter and tweet and everything. Tell the world we got 2 big male lions live here in Africa. South Africa Djuma Game Reserve. Patrolling. Okay, let's go to them and say hello. Hopefully they're not hungry. If anyone's interested, we've got Djuma Dodongala on the opposite cut line. Make sure there are no others coming out of the bush. Yes, that's right. You've got to go south. That one male that's just disappeared behind this termite mound doesn't have the tip to his tail. And that has got to be a feature that we've got to take note of, because not many male lions have lost the tip to their tail. It's like Induna. I wonder if he had a similar experience to Induna. Good morning, boys. Oh, look at the size of these gentlemen. Not even taking much notice of us. You're gonna call for us. He's in Gala heading east now, just past Gary Cutland. Don't go north. Oh, he's smelling something on that bush. You can see he's scratching a little bit. He's going to be marking his territory there, urinating. There's something on that bush. That must be either their scent or scent of another lion.
that there is clubbing yard across it to Torchwood from Rhino Country. Okay, copy.
Ephraim or Henry, do you copy?
Kudu making alarm call here on Rock Street, but do it for now.
At least he didn't hear me. Henry, Ephraim, come in. You copy about Ngala? Djuma Dodo on Biffle's cut line heading east, Gary cut line junction. 2. Okay, I'm staying with them. Because they're not interested. Elephant at Sydney's Dam, we missed them. We were there. Anyone out there can remind me whether any of those, I think it was one of the Matimbas that had the tail missing like this. Any of you know who these boys are? Go that way. There's a good boy. Seb didn't copy any of that. Well, they're taking the little track that I wanted to take to get that side of them. Let me just do this. Looking at my shadow there. My shadow, my hat on his foot. Morning, boys. I think there might be something up ahead. Something's wrong with radios because there's way too much noise on. Can't hear you, Seb. Come on, camera, move, work. Oh no, why? Such a perfect shot. Don't look at me like that, lion. Please don't look at me like that. Well, great. Camera's not working.
maybe it is. I know that Sandy was asking a question, but I'm sorry that somehow the radio is shocking at the moment. I know that the last Rangers meeting they had while we were all away, they were talking about something wrong with the radios, so I guess we have to deal with it for now. Maybe wait till I'm on higher ground. All I'm getting is really bad tracking on any reason. I know you're trying to talk to me. Excuse me, Hornbill. Excuse me. I know it's cold, dude. I don't really want to do. What I'm going to try and do is just onto the road, and we're gonna just try and look at that. It's just, that shot quickly is just incredible. As soon as they get closer to us, I'm gonna have to move because I don't want to block their way. But what I do want to do is have them approach us. Okay, I've got to move. Okay, come boys, walk with me. I'll keep going back, you keep coming forward. What we want, we go further down, get some standing up on that ridge. There we go. A bit more below this. Is it here? And there. Sure, how's that? Okay, decided to lie down. Come, brother lion. Is he lying down as well? No, he's still standing up, I think. There we go. This is going to be good.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I thought he'd roll on his brother. Okay, well now that they're lying down, let's go a little closer again. Okay, we're going to change angles just so we can see that lovely, the darker main boy behind the back there now. That's quite pretty because we're looking west down levels of Cutline now, up, down, sideways, and the moon's going to be setting soon. Magnificent cats. Fantastic. Seb try now. Okay, I'm only copying you on the handheld camera one. Okay, go. Try that again. That's what I wanted him to do earlier. You're going to walk right past us. Both of them are going to come past now. Let's just hope they just walk nice and calmly past us. Where's your tail, boy? Don't look at Becky like that. I think he's younger. I think that boy with the tail missing, he looks older than the other one. They could be brothers from different mothers. Sandy, I know there's a question from you, and I'm sure there are a few other questions that are coming, but for some reason, maybe solar flare activity or something, but there's just really not good comms at the moment. And that was on fairly high ground. Okay, so what we can do again, let's try on my road here. Once again, let's try. They're heading. Oh, the slobber came out of his face there. He just shook his head. Let's try that again. Get around them along the fire break, and back again. Maybe they'll turn in towards Buffelshoek Dam. That sound might sound better. Different frequency. I'm not going to be able to talk to you. It's good. But I can hear you, Seb, if you can hear me. First few words come out clear, and then suddenly I can't hear a thing. Quite a bit of green coming through here. Frank in Texas asking about how often do they need to eat a meal, I think.
do is we'll see if we can get them past us again. Well, actually, no, what we'll do is we'll try what I was going to do earlier. Is we'll just stay ahead of them, and I'm just going to try and match their pace. Get straight, and then we'll just we're fiddling with wires here. There's not much we can do. Wait, go again? Okay, great. And I've got a better comms too. I think the antenna was touching, the radio antenna was touching the broadcast antenna, that's why it was so bad. Interesting. Not too sure that was someone in Canada. Oh wow, we've got a huge cold front coming up from the south. It's going to be cloudy by 10 o'clock this morning. So much for blue skies. But someone in Canada is saying that they are Matimbas, and evidently his name's also in Djuma. The one missing his tail. What I would like to know is, was he named in Djuma long ago, or was he named in Djuma because he's missing his tail? And is it just pure coincidence that both of them named Induna have lost the tips of their tail, because then again, no such thing as coincidence in life, is there? It's serendipity and it's synchronicity. Ouch, he just kicked a stone. Okay, don't go that way, boys. Please don't go that way. Buffelshoek Dam's this way. Oh, he's just going to a gwarry bush. Spraying his territory again. Boy, these boys are really sure. Retrograde spraying, I think it's called, something like that. Hello Diane, morning to you. Wanted to know if I'm concerned that the lion might attack me in the vehicle. No, not really. I mean, I've had lion brushing right up past the vehicle. I think under different circumstances, well, the things would be different, but they are not showing any signs of aggression. They're not. Their ears didn't go flat. There are a number of things that I look for. The few moments that they've looked straight at us, both myself and at Becky, have been more not looking at us as though they want to attack us, but looking at us as though, what on earth are you, type of thing. And also, if you can send me Sandy's question. Stations is in Gala now, just north of Buffelshoek Dam, still on the cut line. And still heading east. Go ahead. Yeah, affirmative. Looks like it's going heading to the south now towards the dam. No, at this stage I'd say still come down along Buffelshoek cut line. Was that Diane in New Zealand? Curious if that was. Hello Diane, Shanae, if you're watching. How does it feel to have snow in New Zealand places for the first time since 1939 or something? People must be battling in parts of South Island, still suffering from earthquake damage and having cold temperatures in August. Shan asking how old I think these lions are. Well, I tell you what, let me watch them a little bit more. Let me look at the nose, let me look at their teeth. Okay, they're going into this little track that goes right into the peninsula of Buffelshoek Dam. got a little bit of that it was from Elaine. Yeah. Hello Elaine. Wanting to know if they will groom each other like cats. Yes, very much so. Well, they are cats. They're very sociable. And what is he doing now? Hiding. Can't go any more forward. Hang on. A lot of moaning going on up ahead. They're just lying down in the grasses. I can't go around this little bend because of a cat in the road. Let's see if we can see them from here. Oh, they're rolling on top of each other. Or they're rolling in something. Rolling on top of each other. Unless there was something, there's a very small leadwood tree. What? Small leadwood tree that they might have had spray on. These Kungala are now heading down the true track that goes down to the northern edge of the dam. Any stations coming to these Ngala, they're now approaching the dam. Okay, copied. Now I'm in sort of coming to that little peninsula of the dam with these two Ngala. Okay, copied. Okay, copied. We might be in the wrong place here because we might get to see them from the back drinking. He can see something. He just stopped and he's looking at something. And this one's not looking at him. He just wants to get to the water. What can you see, lion? Okay, so I got Sandy's question now. Sorry, Sandy didn't get it very much. Well, didn't get all of it earlier. But Sandy wanted to know if these Matimba coalition have taken over this area. Wanting to know how many of them there are. It would appear that they've taken over. They were evidently seen mating with Kahuma females, and I think there are 6 of them. We're not going to be very level here. probably hear him drinking. I need to learn more about this Matimba coalition before I can answer too many questions, but
Sorry, if where about? Okay, copy. Yeah, if I confirm, you got me? Yeah, okay. Okay, copy. Confirm article go. Yeah, that's right, okay.
so 6. Oh, here comes brother. Hello, boy. Go and drink something. Not like that. We can't see you. Hello, hippo. Oh, I was wondering if there was a hippo, yeah? Hippo. If I go back a bit, Becky, we'll get hippo just above the lion. That way get them in the same shot. Hmm?
I got that earlier.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Wanting to know, they're not getting annoyed with us following them. No, clearly not, Yvonne. I promise you, I've been watching lions for most of my life, and lion. Oh, it's very easy to tell when lions are getting annoyed with vehicles because they growl at you and they rush at you, spit at you, and can be quite frightening. But also they could just head off somewhere where we can't follow them, which might be actually quite soon, because we're on this peninsula here at Whittleswick Dam. But no, you see, the thing with lion, actually the thing with all the animals here, is that they are pretty much accustomed to vehicles following them. They're pretty much accustomed to vehicles in their space. As long as we keep our distance, as long as we don't crowd them, we don't try and drive over them, you know, as long as we keep a respectful distance, it'll be pretty soon that we are not going to be able to follow them anymore. Because if they cross through onto another road, we're going to have to go around to another area. lose visual of them. He just smelled something and turned around again. Some soft sand here. Something must have been rolling in the sand where he is now. I think the next question is from Brent. Hello, Starling. I can see you've been fed by people. Hey? I've got nothing for you, child. I don't feed birds out in the bush. Oh, okay, he's lying down. Let's go and get it. Nice. Rolling again in some. On something, in something, or just rolling on his brother. Yeah, rolling on his brother. We need to maybe go around that side of it. Oh, fuck this guy first. Trying to get his brother up. Oh, I wish you could hear this little moaning and. Evidently, the oldest in this group is about 6 years old, and this darker maned lion is actually trying to encourage his brother to get up, and the brother was moaning and really getting irritable with him. Difference between a coalition and a pride. I think that was Charlene. I'm not really hearing things very well, but hello, Charlene. Oh, look at this male. Hello, boy. Okay, try some of your facial features. Look back. Look this way. Get that nick in his ear. Problem with a digital camera is that you press the button and it takes 2 seconds to click. Becky wanted to see leopard this morning. Pardon?
I think this is okay.
You're okay with lion?
North east of Cambodia.
Nice. Another elephant we've missed. Tambuti Dam.
I'm leaving this window on a fire break, but northern side of the cattle, grazing Makul Shop.
Oh, lovely. Henry, come in.
Stand by.
Which way are they moving them for?
Static grazing, yeah, but it looks like they're coming from the north to the south.
Excellent, thanks.
Can also book up more on the western side of Cambodia, coming from the north, also heading south.
Copy, thanks. He's got a little bit of pink still on his nose. Should be black at the age of 6. No, didn't get any of that. Anyways, I was answering a question earlier. The difference between a pride and a coalition. Well, a pride is the whole pride, males, females, children and everything. A coalition, oh, what did you see, boy? Oh, picked up the scent, look at that. Oh, that is biggest. Picked up the centers. Okay, copied. Do you see anything on that side that you work? Because this one big male just got interested in something on that side of the dam.
No, there was some more on that side.
Okay, copied. Because I think they might be coming around there now.
I'm going to be leaving there Zingala with Mark and Luck, space for
2, space for 2. Okay, these guys that were on that side of the dam with their guests, they're missing this view now because these boys are going to go down that way. Henry didn't even stop much. So a coalition, we only refer to males, a group of males that rule a territory, a group of males that perhaps, well not perhaps, are related. They all come from the same pride. You're not likely going to get unrelated males joining up to form a coalition. But we talk about a coalition when we're referring to males that have joined forces and they are ruling a territory. I don't know if we can get across here where he's going. Never done this before. I think it's a little bit too deep to get through here. Yeah, he's going through there. Right, gap. I don't know how, looks like it's way too steep. heading down here. There's another thing getting through the other side. Still a little too steep. Land Rovers can do pretty steep, but not vertical. I'm thinking maybe we just better drive all the way around. We can get around and see if we can find them again. Anyone still coming to Ngala? Okay, copied. Because they've now gone on to the other side of the dam and I'm going to lose visual until I can get around to them again.
Sharp. Very good. Yeah, but we'll be out 5 minutes. Okay, copy, thanks. Lucas? Yeah. I'm calling Lucas, apparently Lucas are in English somewhere as well. Okay, copy. Okay, copy, over.
He's back this side, this one. This blonde other male's gone around the other side, the big one. I think he just looks a little bit bigger because he's got a darker mane. There's a leopard up on Drakensberg Drive, not too far away. And a herd of elephants that are making their way from Tamboti Dam. We're going to probably get to Barry Dam, to the waterhole later. Okay, let's try and get ourselves around the other side for now. Yeah, this cloud's starting to come over us already.
fairly clear. Hello, Ed in New York.
Greetings.
Ed. Are these two part of the Matimbas, and where the other four, aren't they always together? Yes, they are Matimbas, Ed, and as far as where the other four are concerned, your guess is as good as mine.
And no, they don't necessarily always stay together. They do
Split up from time to time, for lengthy periods of time sometimes.
There's never, this is one of those behavioral things. This is something that
There's no textbook when it comes to what lions do behavior-wise.
hey, we might lose signal just going through this dip, so pause there.
Sorry, Seb. Couldn't get the...
I'm connecting with about 450 guys.
One, two, three, four, five hippo. First I was thinking 6 hippo. There weren't any hippo here, but there are quite a few. I was just saying, when... Oh wait, I've got another dip to go through. Carry on talking on the other side of it. Animal behavior, particularly anybody who's got a domestic cat, there's no rule book when it comes to behavior. When it comes to lion and their coalitions, the time that they spend together versus time apart, I think it's so routine and predicted.
Obi. Obviously, the guy on the Leopard, yeah, just checks road. Yeah, you know which thing it was? Like, wait, cross the border. Okay, copy. Is it skittish or is he Leopard? Never mind. Young man there, there's no who it is. We're on the thick bush off Central Road, dropping a big back direction. Oh, not too bad. Yeah, better. Ah, Janine asking about hairy patch. I think talking about the elbow, maybe. It's just part of male lion's mane. The head stretches down over the shoulders, down towards the front of the back legs, and then right to the sort of elbow area. Not a gland at all. That's a hairy patch. The main part of the not put it. Part of the man is part of the males. Display. Cloud is breaking foot. Encouraging. Big way the change is going on, thank you. Sound. Let me move a little bit, Becky. Seems the sound isn't very good. Change position. Something fine on the camera. Somehow the signal. Wonder why. Well, hopefully the weather's going to warm up a little bit and it's going to settle down for the day. It'll be nice to settle down here. Good chance that some buffalo might come by. Good chance direction they're heading. But the ears in that direction too. And then there's something up there. Heading to an area where on the microphone. Yeah, all the time. Across the hillside. All the time. Oh, they're coming to that. Okay, we just put up now. They're heading east. On the last time we had a gala from the Djuma, he had foot track, but I'm ending up with a loop track. You might put me visual if you come. Maybe 50 yards up check further than 20. I'll stay with you.
Hello everyone, this is Pete speaking. As you can hear, we've had some problems with the sound, so Mark and Becky are going to do a reboot of the vehicle to see if that helps. If it doesn't, then they're going to have to come back and so we can figure it out. But hopefully it'll help, so stay with us. The picture will go black for a little while, but we will be back online soon.
Buffalo skull.
Mark, did you got here?
Okay, just checking sound. Checking sound, sound check, check sound. Sound check. Check sound. Sound check. Sorry, frog. Okay, sound is a bit better. Sorry, frog. Got a grey tree frog. I don't know how long it's been there, but it's on the microphone. I don't know if you're going to be able to even see it in there, but anyways, I'm going to try and push this thing back without hurting it. Oh, it's just going to have to stay like that. Sound good? Good. I want to show you something. Let me just check with Seb. Sound good? All good? Seb, are we good? Okay, all stations I've left the lock at these in Gala, Aubrey and Lock, heading east past this hole in Matimba. There was some impala. By the way, the lion, they're far enough away, they won't see me. But they walked through here. This is where an old buffalo kill was. And they're quite deep in. I can hear Aubrey's car, so they're far enough away. Bring me the lens. But what I wanted to show you, we often get asked questions about deer and antelope and things, and it's often very difficult to explain how antelope and the horned animals of Africa, their horns they don't shed their horns because the horns are part of the skull. Now this is quite incredible that this buffalo has the horns are broken the way they are. But now, what is going to be difficult to show you, well it is, because this the horny outer covering of the horn, basically this is keratin, the same stuff that rhino horn is. It's the same stuff that same as like our fingernails. You can see it's been eaten a lot on the tip there, but the one main consumer or organism that breaks down horn material, keratin, is the larva of a moth. And these tunnels, this is dense material, this is silk basically, the tunnels of these moths that have been boring into this horn, and they are actually eating it as we speak inside the horn. It's very difficult to actually show you because of them that there's actually still skull. This is part of the skull that runs inside the horn, and that's why the antelope and the bovids of Africa that have horns aren't able to shed their horns, because it's part of the skull. What is incredible about the skull is how much of it has actually been eaten away. Now obviously animals are not going to be able to get into the brain case through the top, but the hyenas have gotten into the brain case from the bottom. And for an animal as heavy as a buffalo, you must know the strength of the jaws of the hyena to be able to take this much of the skull, eat away this much of the skull. This is about 5 kilograms that I'm holding here. Okay, let's go. Time to talk to elephants.
We'll go down Central Road and see if we can find any sign of that leopard, but he was lost in some very thick bush.
Gonna do a battery change maybe.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. All right. I was going to make an announcement saying that Becky was busy trying to change the battery. It was taking quite some time, but it looks like we've got picture back. So, all good. Enjoy the rest of the drive. Thank you.
Battery problems there. Camera battery this time. Should be fine.
dam again. And I'm going to look for elephants. Actually, no, I think maybe, yeah, I think let's do Central Road. Stick to that plan. Incredible. 2 minutes ago it was blue skies again, and now the clouds coming back again. It is changing so fast, this weather. It was warm a minute ago with the sun shining, and now it's cloudy again. Almost it's like someone's closing blinds and opening them again. Janine in Minnesota. Hello Janine, didn't get my answer earlier. Hopefully you'll get it this time. Janine was asking about that. I think Janine, you're referring to those hairy patches behind the elbow. They're not scent glands. It is just a hairy patch. It's part of, sort of an extension of the mane. No, Seb, I'm not copying you. I don't know whether it's a break. I don't know whether it's a break in that cable when the cable moves on that microphone, but sometimes I'm copying you and sometimes I can't hear you at all. I wish. Yeah. Yeah, go. Lena, okay, wants to know why we don't see oxpeckers on cats. I suppose mostly because cats eat birds, predators. Oxpeckers are not going to be on predators. I'm looking at a peak that I see on the way to Nelspruit. It's so clear today. Just the air and the distance that we can see. I think we can try and get it from here. Just the right of that knobthorn. In the distance, yeah, that should do it. There's a peak, a mountain peak there. It's a little bit too hazy to see properly, but there's a, I don't know if we can close the iris or that makes a difference. Rather a unique shaped peak. And that is far. I don't recall seeing that before. It might just be because the air is so clear. Hello Anouk, nice to hear from you. I haven't heard from you for a while. Anouk in Amsterdam. Do elephants see in colour? Good question. I think they do. It's a very busy rhino midden. In fact, there's some fresh scrapings here since the rain. This is very fresh. I wonder where he went afterwards. I need to also read up a little bit more on research into vision. I mean, originally it was a case of color vision being a result of having both rods and cones in the eye. I think it's the cones that maybe split up the light into different colors, and that's what allows things to see color. I really have to get back into that sort of scientific mode and do a bit of research into how far they've got into discovering new things, because evidently there are a bunch of animals that they're now saying see color, whereas in the past it was believed that these animals did not see color. And it's quite hard, I would say it's quite hard to determine which animals see colour to a large extent, because if it's not a physiological thing, like having rods and cones, or lacking cones and only having rods in the eye, if there's more to it than that, how does an animal tell you that it can see colour? And how do we know that when experiments are being done, or tests are being done, tests, I don't want to make it sound as though it's physically taxing on the animals, but they do tests with animals, and they use different colors, but how do we know that these animals can't tell the difference in the monochrome, the difference in the shades of monochromatic colors, or rather monochromatic shades? You know, blue does look different to red. If you just turn the color down on your TV and you had half red and half blue, you'd still see a different shade between the two. So I think it's kind of a hard thing to determine, to be honest, and that's my personal view. I've always gone by not a hard and fast rule, but the rule that if an animal has color, it sees color. And when you look at some of the colorful creatures, reptiles, fish and birds are our most colorful living creatures, and insects. Okay, insects too. But insects, let's not use insects. When insects see, I suppose, no, you see, I'm thinking now, even birds see through the ultraviolet spectrum. Or is it infrared? I think birds see through infrared, insects see through ultraviolet, hard to, I think it's hard to tell. When you look at something like a reptile or a fish, they have bright colors, so they do see color. Funny noises. Hope they're not coming through the microphone. Aubrey coming? Aubrey. Okay, thanks. You know what happened to his Ingwe on Central Road? Okay, so did he lose visual? Alright, thanks. Couldn't follow him in here, so he lost somewhere in the right, to the right of us was the leopard that Aubrey was following, and he couldn't follow it anymore. Too many trees on the ground, too many logs. That's okay. We're not showing you everything today. There'll be something for you to tune into later. We'll go and see if we can connect with a big herd of elephant that were evidently coming across the boundary near Gowrie Dam. Must have been just after we passed there, and then we found the lions. I think one of the biggest differences I've noticed this morning between now and 2 weeks ago is that the bush willows have lost more of their leaves. So we're seeing through the bush a lot better now. We can be coming into that time of the year when it is the best time in terms of vision and how far one can see from the road. Still waiting for herds of buffalo to come in, and also these herds of elephant to flatten a lot of these dry grasses that are persisting. And it's really dense here. It needs bulk grazers and big animals to come through, open it up and let new growth come through in the summer. Calling me? No, I've already got to Nala Road. Nala Road, there's nothing on Central. I didn't try Gwari Pan Road. I came up Hippopool Road. Wow, look how much water there is here. Well, this should be dry.
Sorry, that's my daughter. You are breaking up, but I can hear that you did try to practice.
Henry confirms I've got that other Ingwe on Buffelshoek.
FM Duna on Paul Kruger Camp.
Sure.
Baba Mara.
Sure. Our young man in Duna, up on Buffelshoek, one of the landowners' camps there, or near it, killed an impala. There's a little three-banded plover here. Can't believe how much water there is for August. Still standing water. Of course, the elephants have been digging, and it does draw the water out a little bit, but this is still seepage. If not even still coming from Buffelshoek Dam. Oh! I thought it was a raptor. There was a go-away bird coming straight towards us in almost like a stoop with its wings tucked in. And I could only see it from the front. Swooped in before it goes down to drink. Okay, let's had some wonderful moments with elephants here at this little sandy patch of sand where they normally dig for water. Now they don't even have to dig, standing water, surface water. We will enjoy some elephants here, I think, soon. Maybe you're breaking up more than you came through and didn't copy anything. No, breaking up. A squirrel. Squirrels, 3 squirrels.
Enjoying the sun, children. One on the tree disappeared, but there's still two at the base. Enjoying a little bit of sunshine. They're nice. They're in a little sheltered spot. They're out of the wind down there. The youngster. Yes, 5 out of 5 all of a sudden. Petra in the Netherlands. Hello, Petra. Doing a Fagasa course. Dung. Dung in the dashboard can only be one thing. A squirrel. That's a nice shot. That's a money shot. Glint in the eye. Okay, Petra, you're doing trees. What tree is that? Actually, there's 3 trees. There's the dead stick just above the squirrel's head. There are the green leaves that belong to another tree. And the squirrel is on the 3rd tree. So in one little scene we've got 3 trees. The zigzag dead branch was the buffalo thorn. The green is from a little jackalberry, and the squirrel is in a knobthorn. And Petra wanted, yeah, I got it. Petra wanted, I know, I always get sidetracked, but anyways. Petra is studying her Fagasa course, is doing trees at the moment. She wants to know more about bush encroachment. Well, we don't really have much of an example here at Djuma for me to show you any areas where there's encroachment. But bush encroachment occurs when there are certain species of trees that proliferate as a result of certain conditions. Sometimes it is improper land use, and that can result from overgrazing. And there are certain species of trees here in the Sabi Sand. In this part of the Sabi Sand in Djuma, I suppose one of our encroaching species would be the sickle bush, Dicrostachys. You're looking at a tree species that seeds prolifically. Seed that doesn't germinate very easily. Seed that generally perhaps only germinates after fire. And so you get an accumulation of seed over time, and then suddenly you'll have, let's say, a fire sweep through an area. It'll be a very hot fire. And it'll take a lot of the surface stuff away, and of course what it does is it opens it up for a lot of that seed base that's been lying dormant for a long time to then germinate. Suddenly you get these thickets, these dense areas of sickle bush, or there's another one down in the southern part of the Sabi Sand, which is the 3-hook thorn, Senegal. Not much else I can tell you about bush encroachment. It's just an over-proliferation of a certain species of tree as a result of something happening to the environment, either, as I say, overgrazing or a fire. Just going to see if I can move this dead log. Oh, there's some impala and nyala up ahead. Couple of young male nyala, the young male impala between two nyala, big male impala at the back. Night before last, in our car park outside FC, we had 7 species of animal. We had impala, nyala, waterbuck, baboon, warthog, and a duiker. No, that's only. What else was there? There was one more. There was 7 species. Waterbuck, warthog, impala, nyala, duiker, baboon. Did I say warthog? Yes. What was the other one? I forget now. What's that nyala got in his mouth? A bone. He was chewing on a bone. Osteophagia. Big John wanted to know if the sausage tree has any more large fruit. No, John, we're going to be seeing. We'll go past the sausage tree later today, and we'll see how far it is in terms of its new phase. But its next phase is going to be losing its leaves. Baboon tracks. Our gang was here this morning. And then we'll be getting the flowers next month. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Things are not flowering when they should be these days. But once it loses its leaves, before it gets its new leaves, it'll first get flowers, and then it'll get new leaves, and then probably early summer the fruits will start forming. So it'll only be March, April, I think, I don't know, late in summer before we get new fruits. But all the fruits that were on the tree have either fallen or been eaten. But we're not going to have time to go to the sausage tree now. We'll go past the sausage tree later this afternoon. Annie, hello Annie. Just a reminder what bird that was that we were watching at that little watering point, a little bit of surface water in the dip after the plover. That was a grey go-away bird. It used to be known as the grey lory. It is a family of the turacos. T-O-U-R-A-C-O, the turacos. Most of the turacos are very colourful. That one's
grey. And he was saying with the mohawk, I guess you could say he's got a mohawk, nice crest. I don't know why they can't give it a nice name like the grey crested Turako or something. What we call the grey go-away bird. If I was a grey go-away bird, I'd demand a better name. We're looking for some big grey things now. Some of them stand about 10, 11 feet tall. Maybe bigger. There's a sign of one of them. Very fresh. Still wet where he's been chewing the base of this poor acacia. A young acacia tree. You can see how once upon a time when it was younger it was snapped off and then it recoppiced and it got a new trunk. Only 20 years old, this tree. Oh well, it was... Oh well, and there's my clutch gone. I'm just going to stop here, we'll listen while I put some clutch fluid in. Where these elements are gone. going to just go take a look on that termite mound. Quite a cold wind picked up. Cold day. Elephant were here. From that termite mound I had a pretty good view over the whole area, except it is a bit of a deep drainage line down here, so they could be down there. What's that? Nothing. I don't know if anybody's been watching Djuma Waterhole. Maybe they were there already. It's taken us a long enough time to get here. Youngster. Little boys always tend to hang back behind the herd. The rest of the herd could be anywhere in a few hundred yards. Oh, there's another little one. Stop here for now, I don't want to push him. He's quite a youngster, but he's already got a fairly thick set pair of tusks.
Probably in his early teens. Only just going through puberty, maybe. Ah, there's a big one down there. So the herd is in this drainage line actually. Can't hear them with this wind. Now we can move a little bit. As soon as we come through little gaps, suddenly there's more. There's 1, 2, there's 3 here on our right with a little calf. Another 3 or 4 on our left. Hello children. Hello. Relax, it's just me. It's me. There's another little one. And there's another one. Big mama. Little boy. That's a little girl. Interesting little nick in her ear. The distance that a herd of elephant is spread out has got a lot to do with how comfortable they are and how relaxed, how non-threatened they are. When they're threatened and they're edgy and they're uneasy, they form a much tighter group.
let's move a little, get a better view. There's a tree orchid, another one I haven't seen before, up in top of that knobthorn. Nice tree orchid, got seed hanging. Hey little boy. Okay, I'd put him at about 14 or 15 now that we're on level ground with him. We were slightly higher than him earlier. There's another young bull just next to him. That's probably cousins, I guess, in a way. They're mothers or sisters. They both look about the same age. They can't be brothers, but there's a good chance they could have the same father. But they were probably born at the same time. They probably spent all their lives together playing since calves. And it's this kind of bond that bulls have that it comes from these days when from growing up together, and the years that it takes for them to reach adulthood, 20, 30 years of sparring and pushing each other around and feeding together and interacting. What that does is it instills an understanding of each other, that when it comes to adulthood and it comes to competing for females, doesn't necessarily get very aggressive because they know each other so well. Let's move up a little bit. Just heard the other young bull grumbling to him, talking to him. Just want to go around the other side of this knobthorn. Have a look at this tree orchid. And we're not really that far from Mbubu Road, but we're far enough off of the road that we don't see this tree. And so I've never seen this tree orchid before. And wow, it's quite a nice tree orchid. Okay, back to elephants. sneak in there to see if any of those seeds have fallen. Maybe another time. Too thick here. A little bit too dense to get through. Hello, Big John. A technical question that I don't know if I can answer very well. Big John's asking, how do they get all the minerals and calcium that they need, especially for the growth of their tusk, from only eating leaves and bark? Well, they do get some mineral from soil. They engage in, I was talking about osteophagia earlier, the act of eating on bone that some antelope do to get calcium. Elephant, my knowledge, don't eat bone to get calcium, but they do engage in geophagia, which is finding a place where the minerals and salts in the soil that they get. I don't know how much calcium they derive from the fragments of their teeth that they swallow. Don't know if that helps at all. Yeah, they don't have a great digestive system, so I don't know how. That's a good question. I remember Tara spoken about it a lot, because she's, having done her zoology degree, she studied the theory of all of this. I haven't ever studied the theory, the actual scientific side of things. So what makes elephants so successful as such large herbivores, only feeding on things like leaves and bark and trees and branches and roots, and how they sustain that bulk, and how they can, or rather how they can get all the necessary nutrients from the food that they eat. I guess to a large extent the different plants have different minerals. Hello, Drongo. And I guess it's something I'll have to study up on. What makes them able to be a successful species with the size that they are, eating only the things that they eat. What's interesting is looking at these two bulls that are the same age, is looking at the difference in their tusk shape, tusk size. Ellie on the left, nice tapering tusks, almost symmetrical. And the young bull on the right, short stubby tusks. Joey in Minnesota. Hi, Joey, Minnesota. Asking about that orchid that I found just before we ended our drives with Safari TV. Funny you should ask. It's still in my bathroom. There's a tiny patch of green on it. I've left it in a very moist area of my bathroom where there's a drip in the tap. Not that it's getting water all the time, but just that it's getting splashed from that. But it hasn't revived. I don't think it's going to the... There's a small orchid that had been ripped out of a tree or broken from a tree when elephant were feeding on a tree on Weaver's Nest. Sadly couldn't save it. It was a bit too late. I think it had been lying and drying, lying on the ground and drying for too long. And I hadn't noticed it. Anyways, time has come. The walrus said, not walrus, the elephants. So they're my favourites, sort of. How about lion also? I think it's been a fantastic start to our live drives here at Djuma Game Reserve. We've been very, very lucky. I was just... When I first saw that lion this morning, all I could see was just the top of the back over the ridge, and I could see it was walking, and it wasn't walking like a buffalo. You know, it was a large animal. It wasn't walking like an antelope. There was just a strange gait to it. And then as we sort of rose over that little rise and saw it was lion, I get quite excited. But these boys do make me excited too, and I'm hoping that later on this afternoon you'll be able to see this whole herd. They're going to invariably move down this drainage line towards Gowrie Dam. They're going to beat Gowrie Dam during the day, so do remember at some stage to check in at the Djuma waterhole camera, because there will be some elephants there at some point. I'm sure whoever's going to be zooming will be letting us know when the elephants get there. Great to be with them. Great to be with you all. It's great to have you back with us. It's great for us to be here, and I hope you're going to join us later. My name is Mark. Becky's been on camera. Sebastian and Pete Brock back in final control. From all of us, take care and sleep well if you're going to bed. Good night, goodbye, have a great day.
Good morning, everyone. Sebastian here in final control. All right, that was quite a successful comeback. 2 of the big 5 this morning. And I'm sure you're all happy to see Mark on drive. He will be again with us this afternoon at 3:30 Central African time. So please join us. And I wish you all a great day or a great evening, depending on wherever you are in the world. Cheers for now. Bye.